Good morning. Today is Saturday, 24 February 2024. From today, I'll be traveling across Hokkaido by train. The starting point is Cape Nosappu in Nemuro, the easternmost tip of Japan. The first video is extra, so here's a look at how I get to Cape Nosappu. Please enjoy the video. The Tokyo monorail ticket gates aren't open yet. I'm going to wait for a while. It was 4:50 when the ticket gate opened. I'll now take the Tokyo monorail to Haneda Airport. This monorail connects Hamamatsucho Station and Haneda Airport in 20 minutes. The future management of this monorail will be tougher because Japanese railway company is trying to extend the railway to Haneda Airport. This monorail has an interesting interior. There are seats in the middle, and at the end there is a space for suitcases. I'm actually planning to head there with a student discount ticket from JR, which will be available on the day of use. You can buy tickets online, however, I still haven't been able to buy the tickets for today's flight, because for the first use, I need to check my age at the counter at the airport. It's a domestic flight, so I guess I will be okay if I get off at the first terminal anyway. I got the tickets. Japan Airlines Flight 541, departing at 7:55 a.m. There's an observation deck on the roof of Haneda Airport. There is Japan's leading airlines, JAL and ANA. In the distance, you can see Mount Fuji. In the behind is officially Tokyo International Airport, or Haneda Airport as we call it. It is the highest number of passengers in Japan and the fifth in the world. The waste landfill site can be seen below. Originally, Tokyo Bay was a shallow TDR flat. The Tokyo waterfront area has developed by landfilling. You can see that wasting in landfill. And this is Tokyo Gate Bridge. Is this maybe Sendai? Oh, that rectangular bay is Sendai. Sendai is the central city of the Tohoku region. Bifutongyu and Zundamochi are delicious. We will soon arrive Kushiro Airport. It is one of the most popular places in Hokkaido among tourists for its rich natural environment. Although the city attracts many tourists, the city is depopulated. What is visible in the port of Kushiro? Kushiro Port is Hokkaido's largest port of entry for grain exports and is home to a grain feed complex. It is a good port that is attracting national attention as a window to Asia. On the Silk Road on ice, a route to North America and Europe in China's One Belt, One Road initiative. I thought there would be more snow, but there doesn't seem to be any at all. There is a direct bus service to downtown Kushiro. The bus was right in front. After an hour's bus ride, I arrived at Kushiro Station. It's displayed on my hall, a red crown crane. This is JR Hokkaido Kushiro Station. This station is the last remaining folk station in Hokkaido. Folk stations were established after the World War II for the purpose of rural reconstruction. It is a structure with the commercial facilities inside the station. It is the root of the current Japanese station building, such as Tokyo Station or Osaka Station. I can see the smoke. Is the locomotive is coming? There it is, the SL Fuyuno Shitsugen train. The locomotive is C11, number 171. This is one of Japan's most famous steam locomotives. This special train runs mainly on weekend during the winter months and runs through the white Kushiro wetland. The red crowned cranes and the Ezo deer can be seen from the train window if you are lucky. Come to think of it, I was actually going to ride this today, but I couldn't get on it because it was fully booked. It seems to be popular with foreign tourists and reservations fill up quickly. I'm planning to ride tomorrow, so I will make a detailed video. Please look forward to it. This train differs from modern trains in that the coaches are pulled by a powerful locomotive, unlike modern trains where the coaches and the power car are on one unit. The lack of power in the carriages makes them quieter and gives you a special feeling of traveling. The speed is slow though I love it. The steam locomotives emit quite black smoke. Steam locomotives tend to smoke black when they are in full swing, and white smoke reveals that they are being pushed by a diesel locomotive from behind, so this loco does their best now. The last cow is a diesel locomotive that eliminated the SL. No, I was watching the SL and time was running out. I'm going to board the rapid Nosappu train bound for Nero. As soon as you leave Kushiro Station, you cross the Kushiro River. The river isn't frozen, and it was supposed to be able to see something called Lotus Reef ice. Lotus Reef ice is the ice that has become rounded due to collisions in the river. It is a specialty of the Kushiro River. Now I arrived at Higashi Kushiro Station. From this station, the Senmo line heading north in the direction of Shiretoko and Abashiri branch off. However, all trains on the Senmo line depart from Kushiro Station. That track branching off to the right is Senmo line. Usually you can get up close to the back window to see the view, but unfortunately it's off limits. This type of trains are rare on Japanese trains. I was looking forward to it. As you see, JR Hokkaido trains basically run deep into the mountains. As a result, many wild animals can be seen. Deer or, if you are lucky, bear. Or maybe it's just bad luck. Often, however, they enter the tracks and sometimes collide with the train. To avoid this, Hokkaido trains often slow down or brake suddenly. The most common animal encountered is deer. They come to lick the railway tracks to ingest iron. For this reason, JR Hokkaido trains have a whistle that makes a high-pitched breathing sound called a deer whistle. If there is a slowdown or whistle, look carefully around you. Animals may be present. The train stops at Kamioboro Station, which was once a busy coal mine. Like this station, there are many towns in Hokkaido that once prospered from the mining industry. Nowadays, these cities are just a sad reminder of what it used to be. Akeshi Bay can be seen on the left. This bay is famous for oysters farming and other seashell and kelp fish. The offshore area of this bay is rich in plankton, where the warm currents from the south meet the cold currents from the north. As a result, this has long been a good natural fishing ground. The name Akeshi comes from the Ainu language, meaning a place where oysters are harvested. You will soon arrive at Akeshi Station. Akeshi Station is famous for its oyster bento. Ujie Oyster Bento sells box lunches on the platform if you make a reservation by phone. Half of passengers got off. As I was the first to get off, I was able to receive my station lunch while the other passengers were getting off. Lake Akeshi can be seen on the right-hand side after passing Akeshi Station. This lake is brackish water and oysters are famous here too. Akeshi has long been a good natural fish ground where oysters and many other seafood products were harvested. It became a trading post between the Japanese and the Ainu. The Ainu are the indigenous people of Hokkaido. There is a history of problems between the Ainu and Japan. I will introduce it in a video next time. Furthermore, sea otters gathered to eat oysters here. Around the Edo period, ships from Russia come to this area in search of sea otters. Since this time, Japan began to draw closer to foreign countries. A short distance after leaving Akeshi Station, you will come to the Bekkanshi wetland. This train runs through the wetland. On the Senmo line, the train passes through the Kushiro wetland, but you don't feel like you're running through the wetland because trees have grown up along the track. On the other hand, here there are no trees, and the wetlands can be seen clearly. This line, dashing through the wetlands on both sides, is probably the most beautiful scenery in Hokkaido, so I love this view. I'll show this beautiful view for a while. Please skip to next content if you want to continue. there's not much to see after passing through the wetlands, so I'd like to have some Ujie oyster bento, which I bought at Akishi Station earlier. It was delicious, with oysters and scallions on top of the rice. The train has arrived at Chanai Station. From Chanai Station, the train enters the town of Hamanaka, the hometown of Professor Monkey Punch, creator of the Japanese famous anime Lupin III. Therefore, there is a Lupin III character at the station. I will now explain a little about the history of Hokkaido. Hokkaido is now part of Japan, but it was not always so. It was inhabited by an indigenous people called the Ainu. Later, the Japanese settled there. At first, the two sides traded on equal terms. Gradually, however, the Japanese began to exploit the Ainu as a labor force, placing them in a relationship of servitude. The Ainu have their own language, but the Japanese forced them to use Japanese. The Japanese government issued a law to protect Ainu culture in 1997 and recognized the Ainu as an indigenous people in 2008. However, there has been no remorse or apology for the persecution of the Ainu. You can get information about Ainu history and culture at Upoboi National Ainu Museum and Park in Shiraoi City. The eastern part of Hokkaido is not suitable for the cultivation farming due to its thick volcanic ash cover, cool climate, and short daylight hours. Instead, the cool climate is liked by dairy cows, so in Hamanaka City, dairy farming is thriving. The Nemuro region, in particular, produces delicious dairy products. Dairy products produced here are used in its famous dairy products such as luxury ice cream brands Häagen-Dazs and Japanese rustic drinks Calpico. After a short time, the train comes to the coastline, Ochishi Coast, Sanri Beach. Beautiful beaches and caves can be seen. You can see the sea on the right side of the Hanasaki line, so it is a good idea to sit on the right side of the train. You can also see the view of Akeshi Bay from earlier. The land at the back is Cape Ochishi. The coast is sheer, but the top of the coastal terrace is a plateau with wetlands and grasslands. From here, there are fewer trees and you realize that you have finally reached the farthest reaches of Japan. This is an environmental protection zone, so cars and motorbikes are not allowed here. There is also a laboratory for monitoring the global environment, which collects data on global warming. I arrived at Nemuro Station. Welcome to Nemuro. This vehicle is called Kiha 54. It is an old train, but I like it because it gives me a feeling of travel. However, it is probably scheduled to be discontinued in Hokkaido, and you may not be able to ride it here anytime soon. Nemuro Station, the easternmost manned ticket gate station in Japan. The railway line runs all over Japan, and it is no longer possible to go beyond this point. From here, take a bus to Cape Nosappu. That is a bus. Is that floating ice? Now I arrived at Cape Nosappu bus station. The next bus leaves at 15:10, so I have about an hour. That is Aurora Tower. Apparently, it offers a panoramic view of the Northern Territories. There are many stone or wood monuments here that you won't find on other capes. It calls for the return of the Northern Territories. The Northern Territories refer to the disputed territories between Japan and Russia. These territories were occupied by the Soviet Union and Russia after World War II, and Japan claims this occupation as illegal. The Northern Territories consist of the Habomai Island, Shikotan Island, Kunashiri Island, and Etorofu Island, which are located to the northeast of the island of Hokkaido. Japan and Russia have engaged in negotiations to resolve the Northern Territories issue, but a resolution has not been reached to date. In other words, Cape Nosappu is the northernmost point of the Japanese mainland. At this point, we can access easily. Finally, let me explain the Northern Territories issue. This is based on the view of Japanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Japan knew the existence of these islands before Russia did, and many Japanese have lived and governed them. There is a history that a stone monument was set up on Etorofu Island in the Edo period, stating that the island was Japan's territory. And as evidence, it can be said that up to Etorofu Island is Japanese territory. 1855, a treaty was concluded between Japan and Russia, which decided that the area north of Ulpu Island is Russian territory and the area north of Etofu Island is Japanese territory. Since then, the four northern islands have remained Japanese territory. However, on August 9, 1945, at the end of the World War II, the Soviet Union entered the war against Japan in violation of the Soviet-Japanese Neutrality Pact, which was still in effect at that time. And the Soviet Union occupied all four northern islands between August 28 and September 5 at the least, after Japan accepted the Potsdam Declaration. At that time, there were no Soviet citizens on the four islands, and approximately 17,000 Japanese lived on the four islands as a whole. But the Soviet Union unilaterally incorporated the four islands into its territory in 1946, and by 1948, all Japanese were forced to leave the island. The illegal occupation by the Soviet Union and Russia continues to this day. Descriptions of the northern territories are taken from the website of the Japanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Hokkaido government. Thank you for watching. See you next video.